If you are looking for a way to understand your emotions and then therefore reframe them rather quickly, then stick around for this video because I'm going to talk to you about a concept called the objective observer positioning. I know this topic so well because with my company, BU to Be Full Hypnosis and Coaching, I help clients with this all the time, and it's very, very effective and helpful for them. So it's nice to meet you. I'm Connie Jo Holmes. So when you get value out of this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe with somebody who could benefit from this message as well. So I decided to do this video because I'm finding myself telling this story in a few different circles. And I thought, well, as long as I'm out here telling the story and it's really resonating with people, I wanted to make a video about it. So again, the concept is called objective observer. So let me just jump into the story part of it because I think that really helps us come to life. All right. So I think we have all witnessed a toddler having a tantrum. All right. And so when we witness that, there is no calming down that toddler. They are in their emotions and they are living, breathing, smelling, every single emotion that they have. And they are having a tantrum because they are in their emotion. They don't know anything else. It's everything they're seeing and feeling and all of that stuff. Whereas the parent can stand here and see that toddler having a tantrum, and we can look at them and be like, what's going on, or whatever. And the reason why we're able to be calm about it when that toddler is having a tantrum is because from our vantage point as an objective observer, from this position, we are able to see that that toddler's not dying, that everything's going to be okay, whatever the case may be. We're an objective observer. So we're outside of the emotion rather than being in the emotion. And that is the big key difference. So think about times in your life where you have thought the world was going to come to an end and, you're just a mess and you're just super, super emotional. And now I do want to say with our emotions, it's okay to be emotional to a degree, to feel what's going on. We don't want to brush things under the rug. It's important to feel them, to understand what's going on so we can process them and then learn and grow from them. However, when we are really being maybe tormented by those emotions, being in those emotions are not that effective. When we can remember this objective observer positioning and step outside of it to see it from a different angle, to see it with a new perspective, that is when it can be very, very important and very helpful for us. So another way to think about this is if you are somebody who you don't mind flying, but the minute there's some turbulence, you're like, oh, you start to get a little bit nervous. So if that's you, the reason why it's happening is because, you just don't like the turbulence and probably your mind is going to worst case scenario or something like that. So that's an example about being in your emotions. You're scared, whatever the case may be, and that's all that you're feeling because you're in it. Whereas if you could, one, even be the pilot because you have a bigger view, or if you could almost imagine yourself like zipping up out of your chair and being outside and like looking at the whole airplane in the sky, you would have a bigger vantage point and you would be able to see the plane is fine, nothing's going on, you're just going through a little bit of a storm cloud and another 5 minutes, you're going to be past it. So if you had that vantage point, when you felt that turbulence, you would immediately know that everything's going to be okay. So that's an example about being in your emotions versus being outside of your emotions to be that objective observer, okay? And so wanted to start with just introducing that concept. But then how do you do it? So really how you do it is, one, just knowing that that exists. And then if you are, because I want to state here, it is important to feel our emotions. I do believe we come from a society where we're taught to swallow our emotions. How many people listening to this were you told, maybe you were a little kid and you were crying or something like that, and you were told, go to your room. Stop crying, go to your room. If you're going to act like that, go in the other room or something like that. We've heard these things growing up, and there was no ill will by our parents, of course, but it's just this is what we grew up hearing. And when you hear these types of things, it teaches us at a subconscious level that having these emotions is not a good thing. We need to, go do it privately or something like that. So that's why a lot of times people feel a certain way about their emotions, or feeling like they can't feel a certain way, or else if they do, they have to brush through it quickly or something like that. And that's actually quite unfair. It's when we brush these emotions under the rug, that's when they can come back and haunt us, because we haven't learned and grown from them. We haven't processed them. We haven't felt everything that we need to feel so that we can come out the other side. So feeling our emotions, understanding them, processing them, and learning and growing from them is essential. So please hear that first and foremost in this video. And what I want to share, though, is because sometimes in our processing of the emotions, we can sometimes get stuck in our emotions. We can. I mean, I think we've all experienced that before. And it's when we get stuck that's not helpful. All right. And so when we are stuck, that's when remembering this objective observer position can be really, really helpful. All right. So just maybe a real live example of that is, let's say you lose your job. Okay. And so you're distraught, you're fearful, you're all these different, maybe mad, sad, there's all these different emotions going on, and feel those, process them and all that. But if you find yourself getting stuck where that's all you're thinking about all day long is, oh my God, I don't have a job. Oh, the dread and all that kind of stuff. And it's really bogging you down. That is being in your emotions. And when we're in our emotions, we really can't be helpful to ourselves. And so that's why when you can remember the objective observer position and just step out of the emotion, look at it objectively. In the objective observer position, there's no judging, there's no critiquing, there's no shame or blame. We're just viewing it. Simply, that's all we're doing. And in observing it without judgment, without critiquing or any of those kind of things, we can actually see things so much better with a clearer perspective, with a new lens, all of those types of things. Again, very similar to being on the airplane. You just lost your job and it's all scary and terrible and all this kind of stuff. So it's like being in the middle of the airplane where it's turbulent and you can't see anything around you. But yet, when you can take a step back, so when you can float above the airplane and look and see the bigger picture, it's all going to be okay. When you can do that in the lost job example, you're able to take a step back and say, okay, this time right now kind of sucks and it's heavy, but everything's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. But you don't know that and feel that deeply when you're in the emotions. You only do that when you're in the objective observer position. So I just wanted to come out here and offer that thought. So if you're feeling stuck in your emotions in any way, just please remember this. If there is any way that I can help you with this, I do this work every single day, again, as a life coach, an NLP specialist, as well as a certified hypnotherapist. So if I can be of service to you in any way, schedule a free consultation call with me on my website at conniejoholmes.com, and the information's in the description box below. But in the meantime, I hope you picked up a couple of nuggets of information here. And if you did, please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, because I would really appreciate it and it helps out my channel. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.